The football world was just absolutely rocked on July 3rd, wasn't it? The news about Diogo Jota and his brother Andre Silva.
Yeah, just devastating. Killed in that car crash in Spain.
It's hard to even process. Diogo was only 28. He literally just married Ruth Cardoso, his partner, days earlier.
And they have 3 young children.
Yeah.
It's unimaginable. For his parents, too, losing both sons at once. Just awful.
The shock was just immense, from his hometown Gondomar right through to Liverpool, Anfield. But amidst all that terrible grief, something else has kind of surfaced, something powerful almost from the details.
It's true. It feels strange to even talk about contracts at a time like this, but, no amount of money fixes this, obviously. Nothing can.
Of course not.
But this awful event it's really put a spotlight on a part of these top-level contracts that often gets overlooked.
Right. It's a tough conversation, but it seems to reveal something important about, financial planning and protecting your family.
Exactly. And that's what we want to explore in this deep dive for you. We're trying to look beyond the tragic headlines, if we can, for a moment, to see what lessons might be there.
Lessons drawn right from Jota's contract with Liverpool, focused on, financial security, I guess.
Yeah, our main source here is an article from Law's Substack. It's titled, Diogo Jota's Tragic Exit, How Liverpool's Contract Secured His Family's Future.
Okay.
And what really grabbed me is that the article calls it, quote, a lesson in contracting for everyone.
A lesson for everyone. That's interesting, because you hear football contract and you immediately think, millions, agents, stuff that doesn't apply to normal life.
Right, but this piece argues the principles behind it are universal. How do you build any important agreement? A job contract, a business deal, even personal planning to protect against, life's uncertainties, the really big ones.
So let's dive into that. What exactly was in Jota's contract, according to this article, that provided this protection? What are the nuts and bolts?
Well, Law's Substack really digs into this, looking past the grief to the contractual mechanics. It tackles that unavoidable question. How does a family cope financially when the main earner is suddenly gone?
Yeah.
And it points to something often called a death-triggered payout clause.
Okay, a death-triggered payout. What does that actually involve? Is it like a single check?
No, not usually. Not in these kinds of top-tier deals. It's often much more comprehensive. It can take a few different forms, all designed for, longer-term security.
Like what?
Okay, so first, there's often a guaranteed multi-year salary.
Guaranteed salary.
Yeah, so it's not just like a final paycheck. It means the club continues to pay out the salary he would have earned for the entire rest of his contract.
Wow. So his family keeps getting his wages, potentially for years.
Potentially, yeah. Depending on the contract, that alone is huge, right? Provides real stability.
Absolutely. That's massive. What else?
Well, beyond that, there's usually a lump sum insurance component. Clubs often take out pretty hefty life insurance policies on their players.
So upon the player's death, a large single sum gets paid out. That provides, immediate significant cash.
For immediate costs, funeral expenses, settling things, I imagine.
Exactly. And then crucially, there are often continued benefits.
Okay, benefits like what?
Things like ongoing healthcare coverage for the family, maybe support for the kids' education sometimes, even through club academies or similar programs. Other kinds of welfare support. It really depends on the specifics negotiated.
That sounds incredibly thorough. It's not just cash, it's ongoing support systems too. Root and the children have, a structure around them.
Precisely. It paints a picture of a contract designed to achieve sort of 3 key things in a situation like this.
Okay, what are they?
First, immediate relief, like you said, covering those initial overwhelming costs.
Yeah.
Second, sustained income, replacing his earnings over the medium to long term. Real financial stability.
Right.
And third, what you could call generational protection, making sure the children's education and future welfare are looked after, securing their path forward. It really does show incredible foresight from the club, from the negotiators. Makes you think how few people, even those earning good money, have that kind of safety net built in. So, is this Law's Substack piece saying this is only for footballers? Or does it connect back to that lesson for everyone idea?
This is where it gets really interesting for all of us listening. The article definitely suggests that the principles can apply much more broadly.
How so?
It suggests that people, maybe especially those with high earning potential or major family responsibilities, could and probably should try to build similar protections into their own work agreements or financial plans.
So not just relying on, say, a separate life insurance policy you buy yourself, building it into the job contract itself.
Yeah, that's a key point. Integrating it, thinking about guaranteed salary continuation for a minimum period, maybe 3 years, 5 years, whatever's feasible. Ensuring benefits like healthcare continue for a set time.
That's a different way of thinking about a job offer, isn't it? Beyond just the headline salary.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's not just about getting the money, but how it's managed. Law Substack mentions things like setting up payments into a trust.
Okay, a trust. That sounds complicated.
It can seem that way, but think of it like a secure box for assets, managed according to set rules. And they mention revocable trusts specifically.
Revocable, meaning
Meaning you can change it if your circumstances change. You set it up, but you retain some control to adjust it later, who gets what, when, if needed. It offers security and flexibility.
got it. So it protects the family, directs the money where it needs to go, but you're not totally locked in forever if things shift.
Exactly. And what's really striking is how these legal tools, these structures, can protect families even without the absolute worst case scenario happening.
And that's kind of the kicker here, isn't it? The really mind-bending part that the article gets into.
Yeah.
It says the same kind of structure that protected Jota's family could also potentially help, say, a player who's out with a long-term injury.
Right. Or help provide for kids if there's a divorce or separation.
Or even just cushion the blow during a big job change or an unexpected career detour that hits your income.
Precisely. It shifts the whole idea. It's not just about planning for death. It's about building financial resilience for any major life disruption.
That is a massive shift from how most of us probably view our employment contracts or financial plans.
That's the big takeaway, isn't it? For you listening. It's about being proactive about life's, well, unpredictability. Football's obviously uncertain injuries. Transfers happen all the time.
Yeah.
But many careers have uncertainties. Personal lives definitely do. These contract mechanisms aren't just death clauses. They're tools for managing a whole range of challenges. They turn a contract from just a deal into, like the article says, a safety net.
Okay, so let's try and wrap this up. Diogo Jota's death is first and foremost a terrible human tragedy. Our thoughts are obviously with his family. But as this Law's Substack article points out so clearly, it did throw a harsh light on the power of really smart contract design. Things like that death-triggered payout, the guaranteed salary, the lump sum insurance, continued benefits.
Yeah, it showed how these clauses can offer immediate help, keep income flowing, and protect the next generation.
Yeah.
But the core message from the source is that these aren't just tools for million-dollar athletes, or only for the most extreme tragedies like Jota's.
So think about it for a moment. How could those same ideas, those structures that helped safeguard Jota's legacy, maybe apply to the curveballs in your own life? Or in the lives of people you care about?
Could similar thinking help someone facing a long time off work because of illness or injury?
Or help make sure children are provided for if a marriage breaks down?
What about just making things more stable during a major career shift? Or if your main source of income suddenly changes, giving you that buffer, that resilience?
It's a really powerful thought to leave you with, and it comes straight from the source material. Your contract is more than a deal, it's a safety net.
It really pushes you, doesn't it? To think about proactive planning, financial and legal, in your own life. Or maybe advising others.
Making sure that protection is there from day one, like the article implies, not just something you scramble for when disaster strikes.